These are four of the most powerful men in tech: Bill Gates, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, and Larry Ellison, and every single one of them is pouring billions into nuclear energy right now. This is the story of how the AI boom quietly turned nuclear power into the most valuable resource on the planet, and why the companies building your AI tools are racing to lock up reactors before everyone else does. Let's start with the number that explains everything. By 2030, United States data centers are expected to consume more electricity than aluminum, steel, cement, chemicals, and nearly all heavy manufacturing combined. In 2024 alone, AI-focused data centers used around 415 terawatt-hours of electricity globally. By 2030, the International Energy Agency says that number could jump to 945 terawatt-hours, almost the same amount of electricity consumed by all of Japan. And honestly, even that forecast might be too low. AI is the reason. Training massive language models, running billions of searches, generating images, processing video, all of it requires non-stop computing power. And computing power runs on electricity. The problem is, these companies don't just need electricity. They need reliable electricity every second of the day. Solar and wind can't guarantee that. Natural gas works, but it destroys the clean energy promises these companies made to investors. So, after years of chasing different energy solutions, the biggest tech companies all landed on the same answer: nuclear power. Nuclear runs 24 hours a day. It produces zero carbon emissions during operation. And unlike solar or wind, it doesn't stop working when the weather changes. That's why the race to secure nuclear energy has quietly become one of the biggest infrastructure battles in America, and most people barely noticed it happening. The company that really started this modern nuclear arms race was Microsoft. In September 2024, Microsoft signed a 20-year agreement with Constellation Energy to restart 3 Mile Island Unit 1 in Pennsylvania. Not the reactor that melted down in 1979, that was Unit 2. This was a separate reactor that had shut down in 2019 because cheap natural gas made it unprofitable. But AI completely changed the economics. Microsoft now wants all of that reactor's electricity for its data centers. Constellation plans to spend roughly $1.6 billion bringing the plant back online, while the U.S. Department of Energy backed the project with a $1 billion loan guarantee. Then came Google. Just weeks later, Google partnered with Kairos Power to develop up to 500 megawatts of advanced nuclear energy by 2035. Kairos is building a next-generation reactor design using molten salt cooling and special ceramic fuel. In 2025, the Tennessee Valley Authority signed the first utility agreement in U.S. history for one of these Generation 4 reactors to help power Google's AI infrastructure across Tennessee and Alabama. And then Amazon went completely insane with nuclear. In October 2024, Amazon announced 3 separate nuclear deals almost at the same time. The company invested hundreds of millions into Cantu X Energy, partnered on a new reactor project in Washington state, and explored reactor development near Virginia's North Anna nuclear station. But Amazon had already made an even crazier move earlier that year, buying a massive data center campus directly next to the Susquehanna nuclear power plant in Pennsylvania, so it could pull electricity almost straight from the reactor itself. Then there's Meta. In late 2024, Meta started requesting proposals for up to 4 gigawatts of nuclear capacity. By 2026, Meta announced multiple nuclear agreements with companies like Oklo, TerraPower, and Vistra, totaling up to 6.6 gigawatts. That is an absurd amount of electricity from a single company. And Oracle founder Larry Ellison even admitted publicly that Oracle was designing data centers powered by multiple small nuclear reactors. During an earnings call, he literally told investors, "This is how crazy it's getting." But here's where this story gets even crazier. Some tech billionaires aren't just buying nuclear power anymore. They're building the reactors themselves. Bill Gates founded TerraPower back in 2008. The company is building a next-generation reactor in Wyoming at the site of a retired coal plant. In 2026, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission approved construction permits for the project, making it one of the first advanced reactors built in the United States in decades. Gates reportedly poured around $1 billion of his own money into the company. Total project cost is estimated near $4 billion. Sam Altman took another route. He became one of the main backers of Oklo, a startup building compact fast-spectrum nuclear reactors designed to run for years without refueling. Even after Oklo's stock got crushed during its market debut, the company kept signing major agreements tied to AI infrastructure. Meta eventually partnered with Oklo to help support its massive AI supercluster in Ohio, and Altman didn't stop there. He was also involved with Helion Energy, which signed the world's first fusion power agreement with Microsoft. The promise? Deliver fusion-generated electricity by 2028. That's right, companies are now betting on fusion reactors to power AI. So, why nuclear specifically? The answer comes down to one word: baseload. Solar only works during the day. Wind only works when the wind blows. But AI data centers never shut off. These systems run 24/7, every single day. Training runs don't pause because it's nighttime. Nuclear gives companies constant, predictable electricity without carbon emissions, which is exactly what AI companies need. And there's another reason this suddenly exploded. Existing nuclear plants are becoming incredibly valuable. Restarting old reactors is much faster than building entirely new ones. Plants that were once considered too expensive are suddenly profitable again because AI companies are desperate for power. The pipeline of nuclear agreements tied to AI exploded from 25 gigawatts at the end of 2024 to 45 gigawatts by 2026. That growth is almost unheard of in the energy industry. Now, obviously, there are risks here. Nuclear projects have a brutal history of delays and cost overruns. Plant Vogtle in Georgia became infamous after costs ballooned from $14 billion to over $30 billion, while construction ran years behind schedule. Critics also point to radioactive waste concerns, supply chain issues, and fears that regulators may rush approvals too quickly because of AI demand. Even fusion power is still highly experimental. Some experts seriously question whether companies like Helion can actually deliver commercial fusion energy anytime soon. But despite all of those concerns, the money keeps flooding in because AI companies believe they don't really have another choice. So here's what all of this really means. Less than a decade ago, nuclear power was considered too expensive, too risky, and politically toxic. Now, the biggest companies in the world are fighting to secure reactors before their competitors do. What changed wasn't nuclear technology. What changed was artificial intelligence. AI created an energy demand so massive that nuclear suddenly became one of the only solutions capable of handling it. Sam Altman said it best back in 2023. The two most important inputs to a great future are abundant intelligence and abundant energy. And that's exactly why every major AI company is quietly entering the nuclear business. Because the race to dominate artificial intelligence has now become a race to control the energy powering it.